Last week was a great week when it came to news and previews on Square Enix titles for this coming year, and it continues on with today's video on Octopath Traveler 0. So with that all being said, what is up guys, Jen here, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel. If you would like to support the channel, hitting that like button would help considerably, and if you want to stick around for some more Octopath Traveler content, then you're already in the right place. Just hit that subscribe button. Now for those that want to have a look at Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy Tactics remaster coverage, I will have a link up in the cards and links down in the description for those that want to check it out. But today it's all about Octopath Traveler 0 and there is a lot of stuff to go over. But before we go over that, allow me to talk about Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is a website where you can get thousands of Steam games at incredible prices, including games like Octopath Traveler 2, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. If you have them, that's fine. There are so many more you can pick through. All you gotta do is use the link down below. And not only that, we have our monthly giveaway to give away any game off the website. All you've got to do, link down below, orange participate button, and then you're in a chance to win. Not only will you be supporting the channel, but you'll be saving yourself some money. So happy shopping, and let's continue on talking about Octopath Traveler 0. And we're going to start off talking story. Now, a lot of people, when Octopath Traveler 0 was first announced, was like, this is a mobile port, this is just a port of a mobile game. And to a certain extent, it takes from it. It takes the best part about it, which is its story, and morphs it into a single player experience. Ever since then, it has been confirmed that we've got over 100 hours of content to play around with, and everything's been tweaked to a single player experience for that fluidity. And when it comes to new content regarding the story, there is about 30 to 40% of new content, the rest of it being reused from the highly praised story of Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent. Apart from that, everything else is brand new, and we're going to dive into all of it. So let's recap on the story so you know what you're getting with. This takes place before the first Octopath Traveler. It's in the same world of Austera, and Octopath Traveler 0 is a story of revenge and restoration surrounding the Divine Rings. So let's start off with that story of revenge. Having lost your hometown, you swear revenge against the three powers that control Austera and embark on a journey. Along the way, you encounter those who resist their influence and gain new allies. What do you seek at Journey's End? So for those that have played Champions of the Continent, a lot of this story, the main crux of it, you'll be familiar with. But for those that haven't, we are in for quite the ride. So we have three masters, a master of wealth, master of power, and the master of fame, who we'll be encountering throughout this story. First, we have the master of wealth, which is Herminia, the covetous witch. And she is a witch with an all-consuming desire to stain the town of Valor with darkness and depravity. Her learning of a certain ring leads to the tragedy that befalls the protagonist's hometown. We then have the master of power, Titos, the hero, hero who leads a band of former criminals and rules the town of Emberglow with an iron fist. He visits the protagonist towns and set it ablaze. And then we have the Master of Fame, Auguste, the playwright, the greatest playwright renowned in the city of arts, Theropolis. He visits the protagonist's hometown in the midst of tragedy and uses the frenzied people as an inspiration for his work. So some real interesting characters here when it comes to the story. I'm sure we are going to be experiencing a true Octopath story here, and it's going to be quite the time. So now that we've got the bad guys out of the way, let's talk about some of the characters that we'll be encountering in our adventure. And first we have Celsus, who is a thief. He is a thief working as a bodyguard in Valor. His knife skills are second to none, and he is extremely devout and prays every single day. And he comes with an ultimate technique called Master of Evasion. It makes the user the target of enemy attacks and grants the ability to dodge physical attacks. So this sounds great as like a provoke skill, but not only are you getting provoke, but your evasion's going to go through the roof. So enemies are going to be trying to strike you and they're going to be missing. So it's a great way to kind of mitigate the damage and make sure that you're outputting as much damage as possible. Next up we have Macy, and her job is apothecary. She is a traveling apothecary visiting Emberglow. She is generally easygoing but becomes deadly serious when it comes to combating disease, refusing to let the matter drop until the others understand that no illness can be taken lightly. And she has a ultimate technique called Prison Mist, and this grants a random positive status effect to all allies. So a bit of a roulette there. It could work in your favor. I think it's going to work in your favor regardless, with it being a positive status effect, but which one you call could change the tide of battle. Next up we have Alexia. She is a scholar who is researching the magic of ancient civilizations. She has recently hit a dead end in her studies, but hopes that following the protagonist will lead her to a breakthrough. And I think it's good to note that all of these characters that we're going to be experiencing are going to have little story arcs for us to experience, just like we do in Octopath Traveler 1 and 2, which is great to see, especially when there's so many travelers that we are going to be experiencing in this game. But Alexia has the ultimate technique, Ancient Magic, and this deals massive non-elemental damage to all foes. Next we have Viator. He is a warrior with a gentle demeanor. He is the son of a swordplay instructor and is searching for a certain sword, following the tradition passed down through his family for generations. And he has the ultimate technique of Fluid Stance. This deals damage with equipped weapon 2 times when evading or parrying attacks. And last but not least, the traveler we get previewed here is Ludo, a renowned merchant in Sunshade. Though many make light of him due to his youthful appearance, his business acumen is not to be underestimated. With his calm judgment and keen eye, he never misses even the smallest of business opportunities. And he has the ultimate technique of Enervating Thrust. This deals pole arm damage to a foe, and if this breaks the shield of the enemy, this will then lower the shield points of the target by 1 when they recover, which is a nice little mechanic that I don't think we've seen in Octopath Traveler, but I could be wrong. But there we have a handful of characters that we're going to be experiencing in the story, and we have about 25 other characters that are going to have story and ultimate techniques to bring to the table. Now, before we go into a little bit of gameplay here when we're talking about the restoration side of the story, let's talk about the main protagonist ever so slightly. It's us, it's me, it's you, it's who we decide. We get to create the character and give the name. But not only that, we get to give them a job of our choosing, which is great to see. And it's going to give everyone a bit of a different experience. Whether we can change that later in the game or introduce 2 like Octopath Traveler 1 and 2 did before it, where you could unlock another job for certain characters and mix and match attacks, we'll find out. But the fact that we've got a level of customization here is absolutely great, and I'm ready to experience the story because I've never had a bad time with an Octopath Traveler story. So one of the biggest things that I'm excited for, and that I'm a bit of a sucker for, because I love games like Dark Cloud where you have a village that you need to restore and make your own. Octopath Traveler 0 comes with town building. So not only can you build the town to your likeness, as you rebuild the town you can construct various facilities and you can build various hubs of where you can cook. You can build fields and ranches for harvesting and gathering various materials. You can obviously create a shop, and you can expand your item lineup with information that you've gathered on your travels by talking to other NPCs, and even obtain special trade goods. So there's so many layers just to the base. You build a shop and that could be it, or you could go down this path of just making it the best shop ever. And then each resident that you recruit to your town that has a skill that is useful to the town to some degree. And remember, some of these are going to be the travelers that you meet along the way, but some of these are just going to be fodder NPCs that you get to manage and make sure that they're in the right situation to bring the best out of your town. Another thing that's great to have within the town is you can build a training ground, which is great because this is where you can train your companions and master their skills and even equip those skills to other companions, thus making more layers of strategy when it comes to battle. Or maybe there's a character that has one skill and you want the other skill, mishmash them together and you get the best of both worlds. So I think the layers of customization, not only when it comes to the protagonist of who can have up to 8 jobs, but the fact that you can mix and match and really cater the travelers to your own, means that we're probably going to have very different play experiences as we go through this 100-hour game that is Octopath Traveler 0. Honestly, the more I see of Octopath Traveler 0, the more excited I'm getting. It's one of my most anticipated titles, along with 2 other Square Enix titles at that. It's going to be a really nice cap off to the year, with more travelers that are going to get revealed due time, a town building mechanic that I'm just going to get absolutely lost in, and then the Octopath Traveler battle system, the break and boost system now with 8 characters to just really strategize and get as much satisfaction out of it. Let me know how you are feeling about Octopath Traveler 0, especially now that we've had some of the previews out there, now that we've seen some more of the characters, the town building and everything that we can do to customize this experience to make it our own. I'm really excited, so let me know yours down below. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to visit Instant Gaming if you want to get some Steam games at incredible prices. And until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side.